There is a lot of pressure in real estate to be on social media 24/7. But what if you don't love it? What if it drains you every single day? Now, I've sold over 380 million in real estate without TikTok or IG. And in this episode, I'm giving you full permission to build your business your way. Are you tired of feeling like you're doing all the things as a real estate agent but still not seeing consistent results? Well, that ends right now. Welcome to the Profitable Real Estate Agent, the show for agents who are ready to stop winging it and start building a profitable and sustainable business. This season, we're going to cut through the noise and focus on exactly what it takes to make $100K as a real estate agent, without the guesswork, without the overwhelm, and without wasting time on things that don't move the needle in your business. I'm pulling back the curtain on the exact framework that took me from my first 100K to 500K to building a 7-figure business. So if you haven't hit 100K yet, or you struggle with inconsistency, don't worry, I've got you covered. It's time to take action. Let's get to work. So I had this epiphany recently around social media, and if I'm honest, I was really a little hesitant at first to write this out and share it. But I kept thinking to myself, if I feel this way, I know there are others who feel it too. So I want to ask you a question. How do you feel about social media? When you think of posting or engaging, creating content, editing, all the things we have to do, does it make you feel excited, like you can't wait to do it? Or do you feel maybe like I do, overwhelmed, like it's a time and energy suck? And some days, if I'm being really honest, I dread it. So if social media feels overwhelming, like this content treadmill you can't keep up with, or the empty abyss where you feel you're talking to no one, you're not alone. And there is so much pressure in this industry, pressure that says if you're not leveraging social media, you're already behind, or worse, you'll never be successful. And that's exactly what I want to unpack in today's episode. The question I have is, do you have to be on social media to be successful in real estate? And I'm going to give you an answer you're not going to love. Only you can decide that. Not a coach, not a content creator that you follow, not what other agents are doing or saying. And back in one of the earlier episodes of the season, I talked about lead generation, and you might have missed this. Lead generation is a personal choice. So I want you to be very careful and mindful not to fall into the trap of, well, everyone else is doing it, so I guess I should too. I remember when I transitioned into the general market, one of the first things my broker told me was that I needed to cold call to be successful. But right away, I knew that wasn't for me. It didn't feel aligned. It wasn't how I wanted to build my business. So of course, I had to find other strategies that would work for me. And the same thing applies here when it comes to social media. So instead of thinking it of an all or nothing strategy, what if you thought of social media as just a tool? Now, I know my team is cracking up right now as they hear me say this because they remind me of this all the time. Vanessa, social media is a tool, use it like one. And they're 100% right. Because now, yes, I do use social media. I use it to talk about my signature course, Roadmap to 100K, to build my brand awareness, and of course, for this podcast that you're listening to right now. So I want to be really clear here. I'm not saying don't use it. Social media can support your business. It can keep you visible. It can warm up your sphere. It can help you stay top of mind. But it becomes a problem when we start replacing the things that actually move the needle for us, like real conversations or following up and relationship building. So if you're going to use it, be clear about how it fits into your business. Ask yourself these questions. Do I have a clearly defined plan when it comes to social media? Is it bringing me real connections and conversations, not just likes, follows, and views? And is it aligned with the kind of business that I actually want to build? So spend some time answering these questions for yourself, because if you don't know why you're using it, it's very easy to waste time on creating and posting content and never seeing it turn into actual closings. Hey, a real quick pause before we go deeper. If you're listening right now and thinking, I want a clear plan to finally reach 100K, then check out my signature program. It's my step-by-step framework for real estate agents who are ready to stop winging it and start building real results. Inside, you're going to learn the exact fundamentals to build the foundation to hitting 100K. We're going to cover everything from mastering your buyer and seller consultations to building your database and delivering a 5-star client experience and everything in between. You're going to get access to my scripts, templates, and checklists. Plus, we're going to have coaching, accountability, and support so you never feel alone. Click on the link in the show notes now to join the roadmap to 100K. All right, let's take you back to the episode. And I am proof that you can succeed and sell a lot of real estate. Like me, hundreds of millions, and I didn't use social media as one of my core strategies. But if my business didn't come from social media, where did it come from? And I get this question all the time. So here it is. It came from my sphere. Now, as you know, if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I worked in new construction before I went into the general market, right before the Great Recession. And I took a lot of my clients with me. I had a database of people, and I took it with me when I went into the general market, and I started with those folks. I also leveraged my husband's sphere. If you have a spouse, a partner, someone in your life that you can leverage and have them talk to their people about what you're doing, so much of my business early on came from my husband. I trained him to tell everyone he knew or met to talk about me and real estate. I focus on building real relationships with my past clients and delivering a 5-star client experience that kept them coming back and referring their friends and family members to me. That was my lead gen plan. Simple, focus. It felt aligned and good. I didn't have to worry about an algorithm changing or a platform being sold or taken away. Let me say that again. I didn't have to worry about the algorithm changing or a platform being sold or taken away. What I had was something I could be consistent with because it actually worked for me. So you're asking yourself, this is great, Vanessa. I feel this way about social media. I see it more as a tool. That's great advice. But how do I find what works for me? Well, you want to find ones that feel aligned, that you're actually going to stick to, and that will bring in consistent conversations, because that is what matters. And again, if you've been following me for a while and been in my world, you've probably heard me say this before. Every real estate business needs to have 3 solid lead gen strategies. Not 1, not 5, 3. And if you're only relying on 1 or 2 strategies, what happens if one of those strategies or the second strategy stops working or slows down? Your pipeline dries up very quickly. Now, remember when COVID hit, let's say, for example, your lead gen strategy was open houses. Your lead flow went from fast forward to 0 overnight. But if you had 3, for example, you've got a foundation that can actually support you and your business through shifting and changing markets. If you want the deeper breakdown of how to build these 3 strategies, go back and listen to episode 2 because I walked you through the full framework there. But I want to give you a short version right now. You're going to start by asking yourself these 4 questions. Number 1, do I enjoy the lead gen strategies I'm currently using, or do they feel draining? Now, there is something I want to mention here, because stretching yourself is a good thing. Growth always comes from being uncomfortable. So I'm not saying everything should feel 100% fun all the time, because there's going to be days, trust me, many days where you don't want to lead gen, and that's normal. But long term, can you see yourself sticking with the strategy? Like for me, going back to cold calling, I knew immediately it was a no. I didn't avoid it because it was hard. I just knew it wasn't how I wanted to build relationships for my business. So I did find strategies that felt aligned and that I was willing to show up for even when I didn't feel like it. Number 2, what energizes you? Is it face-to-face conversations, social media, more group settings like BNI or Rotary Club, networking events, or perhaps you feel more comfortable with one-on-one conversations or meetings? Number 3, what do you already enjoy, and how can that overlap with business, like creating a running club or joining a running club, a sewing club, a cooking club, or of course you can join one of these that already exist. And number 4, how can your past experiences, personal, professional, volunteer work, connect you authentically with potential clients? Now, if social media is one of these answers, that's amazing. But if it's not, let's stop forcing it to be your entire business. Think about what kind of lead gen you're going to stick with for 6 months, 12 months, or years from now, even on the days when motivation is low and you're questioning everything that you're doing. Because you don't have to build your business the way everyone else does. You don't have to chase every trend, post every day, or spend your energy on strategies that feel off to you because someone said you should. You get to build a business that feels good to you. Now, I hope today's episode gave you a little permission to step back, reevaluate, or even rebuild your lead gen strategies to something that feels more aligned. If this resonated with you, I want you to jump over to my IG page, send me a DM. The link is in the show notes. I would love to hear from you. That's all for today. Bye for now. Success as a real estate agent comes down to a decision to show up, take action, and stay committed. So don't just listen. Apply what you learned today and put it into motion. If you need help getting started, I want you to grab my free 60 lead gen strategy guide so you can start finding the right lead gen strategies that'll work for you. And if you're a motivated, ambitious agent who's ready to hit six figures, join my Roadmap to 100K program. You'll find both links in the show notes. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with a fellow agent and leave me a 5-star rating and review, as it helps more agents just like you find the show. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time on The Profitable Real Estate Agent.